What happens when people get desperate? They do things that they normally wouldn't do. That's just human nature. Hello, YouTubers. Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, looting has already started in the city of Buffalo, New York. It states here that looting across Buffalo as city plunged into chaos after the blizzard. Only a day or so after, and there's already looting. Why am I talking about this? Why is this important? Well, let me tell you. These events are going to continue to happen. These natural weather events. Some people say that it's geoengineering of the weather. Whatever it may be. It could very well be. I do know that there is evidence out there that shows that the government has done some kind of weather manipulation projects in the past. Personally, I can't say that they're still doing it. Who knows, right? But is that what really matters? What really matters is that these events are happening. In my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me, they're going to continue to happen in a cyclical nature. And they're going to continue to happen more often because of the cycle, the weather cycle that we have entered into. You can look that up. I've done a whole bunch of videos on the grand solar minimum. So what I'm saying is that if you know that this is going to continue to happen, prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves in every possible way that you are able to. Of course, there are some things that are more important to you than may be important to me, depending on what part of the country or world you live in, or depending on what part of your life you're in. What should matter to you is that this is going to continue to happen. So you're going to have to prepare, make sure that you have all those things that you need so that first and foremost, you can continue to operate within your home so that you don't have to go anywhere. And I am going to go ahead and talk about self-defense. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are opposed to defending themselves. However, who do you call when you need help? Everyone's going to say the police. The police. Absolutely. That's what they get paid for. They're supposed to get paid so that if you need help in the Department of Self-Defense, amongst other things that are, in my opinion, are more trivial, that you call them and they come and help you. However, what is the problem? The problem is that when things like this happen, where the police themselves become incapacitated and cannot be mobile and cannot provide the service that you think they should be providing, who is going to protect you? You do what you want to do because it is you and your family's safety at stake. But here it says that claims across social media indicate that there is widespread looting and that it's being covered up by the legacy media. Well, imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. Looting in Buffalo being significantly downplayed by the local media, said one Twitter user. Local media outlet WGRZ reported New York State Police confirmed reports of 2 looting incidents, but judging by the footage posted on Twitter, looting appears to be widespread. And here, I'll go ahead and leave the link to this article so that you can go visit these Twitter sites and take a look at everything that they're showing. But I have already taken a look at them, and it does look like there is looting widespread, just like they said above. But here it says looting of stores in Buffalo, New York at the same time as the extreme cold and frost. What happens when people get desperate? They do things that they normally wouldn't do. That's just human nature. So what should you do in order to protect yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, the gazelle has horns for a reason. It has horns so that it can protect itself against predators that want to eat it. That's why the gazelle has horns. It is a natural human right that you can protect yourself. In my opinion, it's probably the most important human right that you have, is that you can protect yourself, your body, your family's well-being against anyone that wants to do you or do them harm. There are reports of looting at multiple locations in Buffalo, New York following a deadly winter storm. So on top of people just, getting a storm of a lifetime, as they say, I don't think it'll be a storm of a lifetime come the next couple years or several years forward. So I think there's going to be storms like this widespread throughout the world, not just here in the United States of America. Even a Family Dollar was looted, ladies and gentlemen. Here, developing heavy gunfire herds as looters flee a business in Buffalo. Looting is occurring in the city following blizzard conditions. Footage shows someone firing several rounds as looters run from a building. Why were the looters running? Because someone was prepared to defend their ground. And as I stated previously, these weather events are going to continue to happen. I want you to take a look at this right here. I'm not making this a video about global warming or climate change or any of that stuff. But take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It's snowing in Miami at a Packers-Dolphins game. Do you live in Miami? If you do, leave it in the comments. Did you witness this snow? And when was the last time that you witnessed snow in Miami previous to this? Footage of what appears to be snowflakes falling from the skies over Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium has been uploaded onto Twitter Christmas morning. Football fans whipped out their smartphones to film the rare weather phenomenon in South Florida. Of course, this is a rare weather phenomenon. The thing is that they're not going to be as rare going forward. So you have to prepare. Look, I'm not going to look for this article. But I remember reading something, I think it was like a couple of years ago, where in Georgia, right, one of the international airports in Georgia, they had been procuring the equipment that they need in order to get frost and ice off of the wings of airplanes. Now, I'm not sure about the weather in Georgia too much, but I think that Georgia, I was there for, I don't know, several weeks when I went through airborne training, and it was very, very hot. When I was there, I mean, very hot and humid. So if you are from Georgia, let us know. Do you get freezing weather in Georgia? I mean, I could look this stuff up, but I'm asking you so that we can do a little interaction. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. If you live in Georgia, do you get freezing weather in Georgia? And if you don't, then why were, just a couple years back, why were airports buying equipment to take frost off of the wings of airplanes? Maybe they were getting ready for something ahead of time. I don't know. But I'm asking you that. And here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play connect the dots with all of you. U.S. and China struggle for the Democratic Republic of Congo resources intensifies. Now, I'm not sure if you all know or not, but we've been fighting this fight with China for a long time, trying to take control over a lot of the countries within Africa. Why? Because although most of the countries within Africa are very poor country, they have a lot of natural resources that we need, that China needs, in order for us to build our bombs, in order for us to build our solar panels, in order for us to build our batteries, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to go ahead and diverge from this just a little bit. Why do you think it is that the majority of the countries in Africa have been kept poor with the use or the weaponization of the Federal Reserve note? Yes, they've been kept poor on purpose. Why? Because just like the WEF stated on one of their open letters that if you go to MD Creekmore's channel, he read it out loud, it stated that poor people that are hungry work harder. So we keep them poor so that they can work harder and harder and harder to supply us with the things that we need. A big disgrace, in my opinion. But AP, if we don't keep them poor, then the things that they make is going to cost a lot more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right is right and wrong is wrong. However, I digress on that. So U.S. and China struggle for dominance of the Congo resources. So what does this have to do with anything? AP, well, like I said, let's play connect the dots. Remember an article that I read for you all here a while back? Let me pull it up. Biden pledges $55 billion to African nations. Most are not free democracies, he says. And why was he giving them this money? He said it was for reparations. I made a video about this. It wasn't for reparations, ladies and gentlemen. It was a bribe, so that we can continue to have the control that we have over there. You see, that the way that it works in these nations is just like it works in any other communist or socialist nation. Is we give them all this money, or they get all this money, and it never trickles down to the people. The people at the top take it, they become extremely wealthy, and they spend it on themselves, their families, and their friends. And then the people get forsaken. So all of this money that's going over there is just a bribe in order to try to keep some dominance over these nations that produce those products that we need, those rare metals that we need, those minerals that we need. All it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is just a way of strip mining a nation. And to finish it off, I've been getting a lot of emails on this. 3 power substations attacked in Washington state on Christmas Day. And here's another one. Washington State electrical stations vandalized, cutting power. It's happened in more places than just in Washington State. But what I'm telling you about this here is that it's going to continue to happen. Remember what I briefly talked about on my previous video? That the southern border is letting in people that we don't know who they are, where a lot of these people can and possibly are. I'm not saying that they are, but they can and possibly are coming in through the border so that they can do these atrocities. But of course, I haven't even read this article, and I'm not going to. I'm sure that they're going to blame it on one specific group. Why? It's all an agenda, ladies and gentlemen. So wake up, do your research, continue to prepare, and for goodness sakes, get some self-defense. Whatever it is that you think is going to help you in your most dire time of need. Because the police, as they often say, I love my law enforcement people. Some of my very best friends in the world, they live in New York and they're law enforcement, and they're good cops. Good cops. Ones that believe in the Constitution, that are patriots, that are good people. All right, so I'm not saying anything bad about law enforcement, but when you need them, they are minutes away when seconds matter, right? I think I said it backwards, but you know what I mean. Having said that, have a great day. Thank you very much for joining in today. I know I put out like 3 videos, but there's just so much to talk about. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take a quick minute to let you know all that Contingency Medical is back up and running. So for those of you that wanted to get a Contingency Medical pack over the weekend, they are back up and running. And remember that I talked to the CEO and he agreed to turn my Alaska Prepper 10 code from $10 off to 10% off. So make sure that you use that code to get 10% off, which comes out to about $30 or so, depending on what size pack you get.